officially the best team in the NFL?
So this is an awkward spot because I know the audience is kind of used to me doing Lucy with the football to Charlie Brown to the Bills, build them up just to tear them down, but that's not who I've been this year for them.
Oh, you're a Bills guy.
I'm a Bill. I believed this team was an excellent team going into the year. Said a couple months ago that I thought the two best teams in football were the Chiefs and the Bills. And I'll sit here and tell you right now, I think the real Super Bowl this year is going to be played at Arrowhead in late January between these two teams, the Chiefs and the Bills. And let me pay the Bills one more compliment.
Sure.
And it's a massive compliment.
Oh.
They remind me of what might be my favorite football team ever. The team that I got the most joy watching. The 2018 Chiefs. A team that came into the year without sky-high expectations, seemingly scored 30 points every single week, had their quarterback win MVP, and it was the first MVP for that quarterback. In fact, it was the first quarterback in the franchise's history to win MVP. Mm-hmm. And that team then was everyone's favorite to go to and win the Super Bowl until, of course, in the AFC Championship game, they ran into a seemingly wobbly, on its last legs dynasty trying to go to its third straight Super Bowl, the New England Patriots. So I'm going to drop a banner for the Bills, give them credit, because they are the 2018 Chiefs. They are the fun team, the hot team. They have the quarterback that's playing at the highest level, and they are the most fun to watch on a week-to-week basis. Now, sadly for them, I think they are going to have very similar experience the 2018 Chiefs did, which is you run into a team that can win any type of game, and that still has a lot of greatness left. But I'm not here to talk down about the Bills, because I've been talking up about the Bills all year, and they just had their best offensive game of the season, and Josh is playing the best football of his career.
I don't know how Bills fans are going to like that.
Well,
as much as you tried to make it nice. I will say this, to your point, officially, because I don't know why we have officially up there. Because officially, it's the Chiefs. I mean, until after this Super Bowl, if another team wins it, they'll officially be the best.
Okay.
But officially, it's the Super Bowl champion.
Unofficially?
And they're two-time defending. Unofficially, I like a lot about them, obviously. I don't think they're like the 2018. That team had Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill, guys who had already
more
established
offensive
themselves
talent, for
as
sure.
great stars. What the Bills are is the greatest one-man show in the NFL I've seen in a while. Like, Josh Allen, it almost looks like some great high school player that's just better than everybody, because they don't have a ton of names, if you will, around any other, whether it's on defense or on offense. This guy is just phenomenal. But as far as the best team in the NFL, it was just a week ago. They got beat by an 8-6 Rams team.
Good point.
But so that's
they're 2-3 against playoff teams that would be in the playoffs right now. So I like them a lot, and they are dangerous. They're better than I thought. I thought they'd make the playoffs. I did not think they'd be a legitimate Super Bowl contender. But right now, if you ask me to pick who I think right now is playing the best football in the NFL, it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh.
Okay. Oh my God, my head hurts, man. Let's talk about this. First off, let's stop with the revisionist history. Nick Wright clearly said in the offseason that the Buffalo Bills are in such trouble because their time to win was the previous years that they squandered. And now they pay Josh Allen. Now they're getting rid of guys, getting rid of Diggs. They can't afford to keep people, and that they're in trouble. Him thinking that the Bills, he did not say they were going to be excellent. Him thinking that they were going to win a division was because he thinks Tua and the Miami Dolphins are bad. He thinks Aaron Rodgers and the Jets were going to be awful, and obviously the Patriots. So it's not saying a lot, quite frankly. So let's just get that out of there right then and there. Let's just throw that to the side. And now, even then, saying like, oh, they're like the 2018 Kansas City Chiefs team. Not good enough to beat Tom Brady and the Patriots. And apparently, Nick sees the Kansas City Chiefs as, that team and that era. And now it's like, officially, no, the Chiefs are the best team because they won last year. Last year has nothing to do with anything. Why are people so hard to understand that? We're talking about this year, this season. We're not talking about last year. It doesn't matter that they won 2 years ago and last year. Please tell me what 2 years ago have to do with anything. Is Travis Kelce the same player? Do they have the same players? Do they have the same wide receivers? Do they have the same O-line, the same defensive players? Is Patrick Mahomes playing the same way? Look, we need to stop. It's so insane. If you want to say that you still believe that the Kansas City Chiefs will find a way to win, that's fine. That is a different conversation entirely. Using the past to dictate the future in sports makes no sense. None. It's like when they say, oh, this team has done this for 35 years. Who cares? None of those players are the same. So it's just so absurd. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. Are you kidding me? It's night and day. Night and day. And I wouldn't even say that the Buffalo Bills are just a one-man show. Josh Allen obviously carries that team to just lengths that are just insane. Because the throws, the scrambles that he's making, it's literally legendary. I mean, back to back seasons for the first time in NFL history to have 35 or more passing and rushing touchdowns in I think it's 4 or 5 consecutive seasons. First QB since the 40s to have back-to-back 2 touchdown passing and 2 touchdown rushing games. I mean, like, he is just playing out of his mind. And what's great for the Bills is that other players are starting to step up. You do have a run game. You do have the wide receivers that are actually, oh my God, catching the ball, using their hands. But this is what Josh Allen has been doing. The only difference is last year, right, someone like Diggs drops the ball that hits him in the hands. And they have a big rushing game, 198 yards rushing on 33 carries. I mean, I can go down through some of these big highlights, but you already know them. That Allen scramble throw to Coleman. I mean, it was just, all this stuff was just insane. I mean, then a touchdown to start the second half, first possession, 70 yards in 4 plays. Just wild. Even the score, 48-42, is not really accurate of how that game was. You watch that game and you're like, oh yeah, Buffalo on another level. Oh yeah, Josh Allen on another level. That's why you can't look at stats. Because if you just looked at stats, you'd look at, let me see here if I can find the Lions. Yeah. Because we see that Josh Allen, who played an unbelievable game, obviously, was 23 for 34, 362 yards, 2 touchdowns, passing, 2 touchdown rushing, 10 for 69 rushing, 10 carries for 69 yards, and a 122 rating. And if you just looked at box score, you would say Jared Goff was 38 for 59, 494 yards, and 5 touchdowns, and a 118. And yet you would say that these are 2 quarterbacks on 2 completely different levels. And Jared Goff didn't play bad. Jared Goff played great as well. It's just that Josh Allen is so head and shoulders better. And it's amazing that Nick is trying to use this as an excuse when you see the Chiefs, struggling to beat the Browns, who had 6 turnovers, and they only put up 21 points. I mean, they had 3 interceptions and 3 fumbles from the Browns. And yet Mahomes was 19 for 38, 159 yards, 4 yards per attempt, and a 78 rating. If that was anyone else, you'd be ripping him. If that was Russell Wilson, you'd be saying, bench him for Fields. If that was Jalen Hurts, you would say, there's some really serious conversations about that the Philadelphia Eagles may move on from Jalen Hurts. But it's the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's like, oh, it's A-okay. A-okay. That's not how things work. That's not how things work. You don't get paid in the NFL. You're not getting paid contracts based on what you did. It's what you're going to do. And again, I'm not counting out the Kansas City Chiefs. The only reason why I even bring up the Kansas City Chiefs is because their logo is literally right there, and you got these dumb banners hanging. That's the only reason why I'm even bringing up the Chiefs right now. God forbid we have a conversation about how great the Buffalo Bills are without trying to put it in context with the Kansas City Chiefs and saying that the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team Until they lose, they're the best team. And it's like, that's not how things work. That's just not how it works, man. That's not how it's ever worked. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Were the Kansas City Chiefs the best team in 22? We'd say yes, they won the Super Bowl. But they didn't win the Super Bowl the year before that. So then how would they be the best team? Doesn't make sense. And I guarantee you, that year, people like Nick Wright were saying the Kansas City Chiefs are the best team. But you couldn't have said, well, they won last year. What about so-and-so? They won last year. We didn't do that. We only want to play that game when it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And I get it. The Kansas City Chiefs are a dynasty. They're iconic. They're an all-time great franchise right now. With an all-time great coach, quarterback, coordinator, Travis Kelce, who's obviously at the end of his career, but still great, obviously, and reliable and dependable, and you expect him to step up in the playoffs. But we don't have to offer that qualifier in every single conversation. We just don't. Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes in general. Miss me with trying to count Super Bowl rings. Josh Allen is a better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. And this year, the Buffalo Bills are the better team. They are better than the Kansas City Chiefs. Can they still be beaten? Can they lose to a bad team? Absolutely. Absolutely. Just like the Kansas City Chiefs struggled to beat the Panthers. They struggled to beat the Chargers. Look what the Buccaneers did to the Chargers. Who's a better team? The Bucs or the Chiefs? And I got news for you. It's going to be hilarious to see if Carson Wentz actually plays. I hope he does, because I just would love to see what Carson does with the Chiefs. I think Carson Wentz is a great quarterback. I think his career was completely derailed, mainly probably because of personality and used as a scapegoat. But the Chiefs would be in great shape with Carson Wentz. Someone made the joke I saw online where they were like, oh, the funniest script ever would be Carson Wentz beating the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl, which would be wild. Because obviously the Super Bowl was won because of a backup quarterback with Nick Foles with the Eagles, and then they move on for Jalen Hurts. And then if he beats Jalen Hurts in the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs already beating the Eagles, like that would be wild. But that's a scenario probably won't happen, because I assume Patrick Mahomes will be fine, but it feels like Patrick Mahomes won't play at least one of these next 3 games, depending on how it all unfolds. But God, some of these takes, man, are just wild. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Buffalo Bills? Do you think they're officially the best team in the NFL? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.